Hello, Man in Gray here with another Man in Gray book review. And today's book is probably the nerdiest one I've reviewed so far. It's What the Font, a Manga Guide to Western Typeface by Kanushi Ashiya and translated from the Japanese by Joycelyn Allen. It was published in 2020 by Seven Seas Entertainment, and it's 216 pages. Matusa is a girl who works at or a woman who works at a Japanese production company as a sales representative. But she is suddenly asked at the last minute to design a logo for a presentation they're doing. And she doesn't know anything about design. She's a sales rep. And so she goes to the company's library and gets out a book on typefaces to try to figure out what kind of design she wants to use for this logo. And suddenly, one of the characters comes to life. Helvetica comes to life. The Helvetica typeface comes to life and guides her through all of these typefaces in this book. So each font, each typeface is portrayed as a character, and each one has certain personalities. Helvetica starts with the sans serif typefaces, including Futura, Optica, and well, several others like that. And each one of them has a personality. For example, Franklin Gothic is portrayed as kind of a middle-aged man who's having trouble with his daughter, Impact. And then they go on to the Roman or serif typefaces like Times New Roman, Garamond, and Rockwell. And then finally, they end up with kind of the oddball typefaces like Comic Sans and Trajan. And so she meets with each one of these typefaces, and each little chapter tells a little bit about the history of the typeface and what sets it apart from others. Gives an example of the lettering and how they're different from other members. And of course, many of these typefaces have families where they're slightly different, and it goes into the slight differences between the different types of Helvetica and so forth. How Times New Roman is different from Times Roman. And then there's also some examples from company logos and lettering and so forth. And then at the end of the book, she comes up with this presentation, and everybody's really impressed by how well she did. And then she says, "Well, I had a lot of help." So it's a fun little way to learn about typefaces and how they're different, and being in a manga form, you get to see a lot of examples of the different designs and the logos and everything in these different typefaces. So if you're interested in fonts and you like mangas, this is one that's kind of out of the ordinary. It's not your typical fantasy or horror romance manga. It's one on typefaces. But it's kind of fun to read, and it's a good way to learn about fonts if you're into that kind of thing. The book is What the Font, a Manga Guide to Western Typeface. The author is Kanishi Ashiya, and the translator Joycelyn Allen. This has been another Man Gray book review. Thanks for watching.